Patrick and I met on the guys' ski trip. Our fathers had been going on a ski trip for years and years. So my dad and my uncles and we have a cousin in Richmond and his friends all came together and went skiing annually. And one year the kids ended up going or getting invited. That's when I met Patrick, and he was very quiet and very reserved, and didn't think we were going to end up getting married.
It was on a ski trip in Colorado, a family ski trip that has been traditionally all guys, but the girls invited themselves on one year, and yeah, that's how we met.
Do you remember when that was?
3 years ago now.
It was 2 years ago, so I guess 2013. It was right after the new year in Beaver Creek, Colorado. I thought he was really attractive, but I thought he was really, really shy and reserved. So we didn't have much of a conversation that first night.
Okay, so first impression, like in very first impression. So she became my friend on Facebook about a year prior on a different ski trip. So my initial impression was that she was stalking me a little bit on Facebook. So obviously, you know, persistent, maybe a little creepy, but also very resourceful. But no, so in Colorado, you know, she was having shots with Jackie, and she and Jackie were kind of in their own little world and just having a lot of fun together. And so my first impression was that, you know, she's just fun to be with. And I don't know, I mean, I could respect a girl who enjoys her whiskey.
Well, this wasn't a date. We weren't dating yet, but one of the funniest moments we had, he, for whatever reason, doesn't go shopping at a store to buy pants. He gets them through Bonobo. So he went to Georgetown and he was having a fitting, and really casually he asked if I was available, then we could go paddle boarding. So we went paddle boarding at that little boathouse in Georgetown, and afterwards it was hot. It was really hot out, and we were going to Paulo's for dinner, and he knew that I had shampoo and soap, but there weren't any showers at the facility, so he jumped into the river and used the shampoo, and the guy came running who worked at the paddleboard place and said that the water was completely septic and that he had just taken a shower in poo. So that is the first memorable outing.
I mean, a lot are memorable. I guess, so the way I look at it, when I think of like something that's memorable about the relationship, it's not necessarily like a particular date or a time or whatever, but kind of looking back in its entirety and kind of thinking about, you know, what we've had to do to make this work. You know, it's been like 2 years of, you know, long distance relationship, and, you know, the challenges that come along with that. So, you know, in terms of like ongoing commitment and, you know, always seeing each other, making the effort to visit, you know, at least, you know, once a month, twice a month, that's something that's memorable, and that's something that I'm proud of. So, yeah, that's what sticks out in my mind.
Yes. We had a first kiss, and then we didn't have another kiss for a long time after that. So he came down, we went to Strathmore to see Ira Glass because we both enjoyed This American Life, and we actually went to Seasons 52 for dinner, and we ended up missing like the first half of the show because we were talking so much. So we were late for the show, and then afterwards I changed into some Under Armour shorts or pants. I was looking really classy and beautiful, and I guess that's what he's into. Because that was our first kiss.
She seduced me. I won't lie. She's got her ways.
Was it down in Richmond or up here?
It was here.
It was here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she was ravishing. She had a tattered old American soccer T-shirt on, probably, an ex-boyfriend's, and some neon shorts, appropriate for like a 80s cover band, concert. But yeah, how could a guy resist that?
He said it. We were in his car in Memphis, and I wasn't expecting him to say it, and then I couldn't say it just yet, so it took me until I was in South Carolina at his friend's wedding. You're not supposed to be here.
Yeah, it was in my truck on one of her visits. Yeah.
So we were in Florida for President's Day weekend. So I guess I should date this 2015. And we went to dinner. And I guess John, his dad, was calling to make sure that he had all his plans in order. And I did not have a clue it was going to happen because my Aunt Debbie, who is a jeweler and made the ring, said that the ring wasn't ready. So I just thought it wasn't ready. So I went down to Florida with very unmanicured fingers. And okay, so John was calling during the day to check with Patrick. I didn't have a clue that was happening. And we went to dinner, and it was really unseasonably cold for Florida, even though it was February. And Florida's always warm. So after dinner, he had brought a blanket, like the comforter from the bed, and we had gone to this like lookout point, I guess, but during the day it's where the pool is. So we're sitting down on the chairs, and I had no idea what was happening. So I'm looking at the constellations using Google Stars or whatever it's called, and we're just talking, and at some point he said something along the lines of, "I love you, I want to spend my life with you." And I said, "Yeah, I love you, I want to spend my life with you too." And I, again, didn't know what was happening, so I was exhausted. It was pretty close to midnight, and I laid down, and I was so relaxed, and I started falling asleep, and he woke me up. And when he actually proposed, he was wearing the ring on his pinky finger, and I was so excited.
So on a family vacation this past year, we went to Florida, and after a nice dinner, we went down to the water and just had a good conversation, and kind of felt like the time was right. I was carrying the ring around with me all day and just waited for the right moment, and knew that it wouldn't happen the next morning. She's not much of a morning person, so I figured then was as good of a time as any. The conversation led in a certain direction to where it was appropriate, and yeah.
Patrick and I are very different personality-wise. He's very structured and organized and businesslike, and I am probably more creative and a little on the sillier side. So we complement each other really well, but he's really thoughtful and really kind and really warm and really sincere. He's probably one of the most sincere people I've ever met in my life, and he's patient, and I mean, I don't really have a bad quality to share about Patrick. He's absolutely wonderful, and he makes me so happy. He's probably sick of me telling him that he makes me so happy.
He's also the most photogenic man in the world. So
yes,
that's a lovely bonus. Your wedding pictures will look fabulous.
Yes.
Well, she makes life fun. You know, she doesn't take herself seriously. She doesn't take me seriously. And, you know, I like and love her playfulness. You know, she's very maternal. And that really, you know, that's something that's important going forward. And yeah, just a really warm heart.
But he really is my best friend, and I look forward to, you know, not only the near future of what's gonna, you know, just living together in the same city and spending every day with one another, but also I really look forward to when we're old and just, you know, sitting and people watching and doing nothing.
So I guess there's not like any particular thing, but it's, you know, excitement over, you know, having her be the one to shape, you know, my life, and for me to be the one to shape her life. You know, there's nothing that's as proactive and as empowering as, you know, actively, you know, choosing somebody to share your life with. And, you know, I'm just looking forward to all the things that come with that, you know, because she's going to influence a lot and she's going to determine a lot. And there's nobody else that I'd rather do that with.